Very good morning to all of you, and welcome to Namma KPSC. Okay, so there are many friends who have joined us online today, and many will be watching later on YouTube, etc. So the idea of this session, okay, is to help you understand the importance of mains preparation and why you should start your mains right now. See, we have waited for some time now, and we decided that this is the right time to start a mains batch. Okay, so we have why it is necessary that you should start your mains preparation. That is at the end of the class, you should understand that. Okay, so that is my main objective as to why this examination expects you to be more, positive, even though when the environment is such that there is, a lot of uncertainty that we see today in KPSC exams. Okay, and please remember, I'm not going to discuss these two very important, very emotional questions. Okay, I know that most of you are worried and thinking about all these things. Let me tell you, I'll give you a story, or let me tell you my personal experience as to how, when I cleared the exam, how much effort or how much mental trauma that we had to go through, me, my friends, etc. Ultimately, when success comes, all that is forgotten. Okay, so I'm not going to give you, or I really don't have any idea about when the results are. Okay, that is not my strength, and I will not know when the next notification is going to come. But rest assured, we can expect a notification somewhere between 6 months to the next 2 years. Okay, so that is the guess that we can make. I mean, it seems funny when I tell that, but yes, it is going to come. But as I told you, within that 6 months to 2 years. So if we are a serious aspirant, okay, we should start our preparation. I will explain to you that today. All right. So if you are here for these two questions, then I think you should exit the class right now. Otherwise, let me just explain to you what is today's program. Okay, today's agenda is one. I will just very briefly give you an orientation of what is there in your mains preparation. I'm sure if you are all a serious aspirant, you would have gone through the syllabus and you are already aware of the patterns and all that. I don't want to waste your time on that. For that purpose, I've already given the handout, okay, which contains all the details about the exam program, the syllabus, all that is there in the handout. So I don't want to waste your valuable time on discussing those things. But yes, I will just try to give you a broad idea, okay, as to what are the various topics and how much you have to stress on each of them very briefly. So that is what is one thing. And the second thing is with respect to the preparation strategy, okay, a roadmap for you, so that next time when the notification comes, okay, you will be at the top of your preparation and top of all others. Okay, so that you don't have to wait for another or suffer for another, wait for another notification. So that is what I will try to give today, a roadmap as to how to start your preparation. And lastly, okay, our program. Okay, so I will try to, I mean, see, we are trying to bring some kind of merit into this system. And that is the main agenda objective with which we started this institute also. Namma KPSC was started in an attempt to reform this system. When we are able to eliminate people who don't work hard, people who are there just for the sake of entering into a government job, when we can eliminate in different phases, at the prelim stage, at the main stage, okay, so the scope for them to try to interfere into interview, etc., comes down. So that is what we will try to do. I am trying to bring merit so that we give good material, good content, good classes, good tests, so that the best of the best students will be selected at each stage, and the bad ones will be eliminated at each stage. Okay, so with that agenda, we have started this institute. So keeping that in mind also, okay, I will explain to you what we intend to do this time in the mains. Mainly because we have seen some problems, okay, in the past mains examination. So we want to address that. I will tell you that in a while. So these are the three things that I will try to do in today's session. One is give you a broad orientation. Second, as to why you should start your preparation now, and a roadmap, okay, to help you. Whether you join us, whether you are taking classes elsewhere, or you're doing self-study, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so irrespective of that, you should have a roadmap, you should have a plan. Okay, why and what is the plan? That is what I will explain to you. And third one is our program, what we intend to do. And if you have seen our quality, if you have seen if you are comfortable with what we are doing, then that is a next step altogether. So that is the three things that I will be discussing in today's class. Okay, so very briefly, let's see the mains pattern, right? All of you are aware of this, I'm sure. So you know that you have your 5 papers, right, in the mains written examination, which are evaluated, right? So you have an essay paper, which is of 250 marks, and you have 4 general studies paper, okay, 250 marks each. So therefore, the total marks that you are going to write is 1,250 marks. All right. And then you have compulsory Kannada and English, which is not counted for your final marks. It is just mandatory that you need to clear that. Minimum you need to get around 30%. You have to get. So this is 150 marks. Okay, these are all 250 marks. The compulsory Kannada and compulsory English is of 150 marks. Not counted, it is minimum 30% you need to score in that. So the total marks for which you will be writing is 1,250. And then you have to the total written marks in the mains, you have interview also. Okay, so you have interview now, it has been reduced from 200 to 50. This is a great advantage for serious meritorious aspirants when they have reduced the interview marks from 200 to 50. So the scope of interfering with or changing, interfering in the list reduces drastically. Okay, so grand total is 1,300. Okay, so usually the cutoff would be around 50 to 60%. This is what will be the cutoff. If you see, this is from the previous year experience, 50 to 60%. Last time, I think it was around 62% for general merit. I'm expecting it to be much lesser this time, mainly because there is no optional paper. Okay, optional paper always used to score well, and it used to be like around 70-80% marks. Okay, toppers used to get around 70-80%. So that used to take the total marks up. General studies always used to score less than 50% or around 50%. So now if you take, the cutoff will be around 50%. Okay, so around 50% of this, if you get, you will make it in the final list. Let me just expand these topics very quickly. I'll take another 10 minutes, okay, to give you an idea as to what are the subject topics that we will be covering in our mains. So you have essay paper. All right, so you have 2 essays. See, earlier what used to happen was they used to give 8 essays. Okay, out of 8 essays, you have to write 2 essays. Okay, 4 in one section, 4 in another section. In each section, you had to choose 1. But I think you have seen the last year's paper, they had asked only 2 essays and it was compulsory. Okay, so anyway, so probably they did not want to put an effort to find another 6 questions. Okay, whatever it is. Irrespective of that, you have 2 essays. So usually what is there in the syllabus is topic of international and national importance. So if you see last time, there was a question on education. All right, and this time, and the national issues, state issue was with respect to land reforms and associated with state land reforms. So that was the 2 essays that they had asked, and it was compulsory. Okay, when it was compulsory, it becomes very difficult, to write, because essay you have to write for 1,500 words, and 1,500 words of some topic which you are forced to write becomes a very challenging topic, okay, challenging issue. So that is your essay paper. And then you have your general studies, 4 general studies papers, right? So in first paper, you have your history, art and culture, okay, along with that social and political perspective and Indian economy. In Indian economy, they have also added data interpretation and analysis over there also. Last year, there was no question on this. But otherwise, so if you see history, art and culture, mainly focusing on Karnataka, actually, if you see, okay, art and culture of entire India, but history mainly of the Karnataka history. Okay, so from Kadambas till our unification movement in history, we have that topics. Okay, then you have your social and political perspective about society, about the stratification that is there in our society, things like that. Okay, and Indian economy, the basic what we study in polity from a mains point of view. Okay, so this is in our paper 1. In paper 2 of general studies, so we have geography. Okay, so physical geography and your natural resources, etc., of both India as well as state Karnataka. Okay, similarly you have Indian polity and the constitution. Okay, and then public administration and management, including international relationship. Okay, so these are the 3 things. So geography, constitution, and public administration and management. This is there in general studies paper 2. In paper, yeah, I haven't written that. Okay, so paper 3. So the next paper 3, that is your science and technology. Okay, environment, ecology, all right, and disaster management. All that comes in your general studies paper 3. And paper 4 of general studies is your ethics, integrity, and aptitude. Now, the type of questions, okay, varies from a 10 marker to 15 marks. If you have seen, okay, this is with respect to GS 1 to GS 3. Ethics may last time they had asked even your case study. There was a case study also. Last time there was a case study, but before that there was no case studies. Okay, so we have 10 mark 20. So case study was 20 marks, correct? So case study was a 20 marker question. So 10 marks to 15 marks. So around 150 words to around 200 words. Okay, then you also had a 12 marker also. So questions and the marks varies from a 10 marker to a 12 marker to a 15 marker, and ethics may they have also asked a 20 marker question. So staying in the word limit, all that is secondary. We'll come to that on a regular course, not now. So at least you should have an idea. So it is an essay type questions. You will have to write a 10 marker to 15 marker. Okay. So this is what is there in our mains examination, right? So the detailed syllabus, etc., I'm sure you can read it at your convenience at your home and try to get familiar with the syllabus. All right. So with that, I will go to the next agenda of today's class as to why start our preparation now. Okay. So I have a picture over here. So current mood of KPSC aspirants is something like this. Okay, so everybody has some or the other issue who are preparing for KPSC civil services examination. They are going through something like this. Okay, some have written their mains, waiting the results. Okay, some have given some other examination, they're waiting results. Some are waiting for the new notification, etc. So for this, I only want to, we look at our past to understand or get some, insight into our future. Okay, so the other day I was watching this movie on Udham Singh. Okay, recently released. Udham Singh was a freedom fighter. Okay, he was a revolutionist. He was part of this Gadar movement, HSRA, part of Bhagat Singh. Okay, he was so most of the time we focus on Bhagat Singh in our history and all that. We tend to forget other revolutionists. If you know what Udham Singh did, what did he do? Anybody? Yeah. Yes. So he was the one who assassinated General Dwyer. He was a lieutenant governor of Punjab at the time when Jallianwala Bagh massacre took place. Okay. So so this Jallianwala Bagh massacre took place in 1919, right? And the assassination took place in the year, I think, 1940, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so it took almost 21 years for a young man, in his 20s, when he actually, less than 20 actually, when he saw the Jallianwala Bagh massacre and spent 21 years with one single agenda to, not just avenge. It was not about avenging. When you see his writings, etc., it was not to avenge, but to ensure that, people do not forget something such bad that has happened, and to ensure that the revolutionary zeal that was there among the people remain, right? So he, with that single agenda, he travels to so many countries, goes to London. He tries to meet people, tries to get support, etc. So like that, with that single agenda, I'm just trying to take an example of somebody we don't usually read. We talk about Gandhiji, we talk about Ambedkar. Yes, they're all very important and somebody who has dedicated their entire life. Okay. And 20, 21 years, even Bhagat Singh, we know such young age, I think what 20 in his 20s, right? So in such an age when they were able to, sacrifice, and today they are legends. Okay, somewhat like for many people, they are like equal to gods. Okay, so, and today we are enjoying the fruits of freedom, right? Mainly because of their sacrifice. Anyway, so I'm just saying that there are so many stories like this and inspirations that we should look up to in these, hard times to get such kind of motivation. And if you look at even the toppers, so many people who have cleared. So even, for example, I'll just give my example. I cleared this examination in 2017. I started my preparation in 2011. Okay. It took almost 6 years. Though I was not planning to, clear, I was not focused on KPSC, I was focused on UPSC, took multiple attempts, etc. So anybody who has cleared the examination on an average, okay, on an average, if you take around 60-70% of the people, okay, clear this examination, whichever, whether it is UPSC or whether it is your KPSC examination, on an average, they take around 3 attempts. So 3 attempts means around 3 to 4 years is given for this examination. Okay, you can do your son. So generally, it is considered that it takes around 2 to 3 attempts to clear this examination. So it is difficult. All right. And added to that, yes, KPSC's uncertainty adds to that. Okay, no doubt about that. So what I am trying to say is it takes about 3 to 4 years normally also, even whether it is UPSC or KPSC, it takes so many years. So, and with KPSC, since there is uncertainty, you have to be prepared when the notification comes. And now that notification and everything is due for a long time. All right. So whenever it comes out, okay, you should be prepared. The reason why right now we feel, my team feels is the right time to start your mains is because of the experience that we faced last time. So last time what happened was we had our test program. Okay. And we had this Gurukul program where we used to mentor the students after writing their test. So we realized that they were very committed. They were giving tests regularly, all that was there. But they were having some kind of shortcoming. That is, they did not have enough content. Okay, there was shortage of time. And thank God that the exam got postponed for a month. Okay, so this added to their, this helped them to, get some more breathing time. But majority of them, okay, who were giving the tests, we're facing the problem of the lack of information, okay, lack of content, okay, because most of the time, even last time also when we tried to tell that, okay, start and finish off your preparation, and then whenever the notification comes, you can start, okay, but what majority, obviously because of the lack of clarity, many waited and waited, and as soon as the notification comes, prelims will be held, then mains will be held, and then they'll wait for results. So that's how it is. So prelims and mains usually happens very quickly, and you have no enough time to study at that point of time. And if you have seen the syllabus, KPSC syllabus, most of the KPSC syllabus is very static. Main syllabus. I'm not talking about the prelims. If you see the main syllabus, now they take ethics, let's say history, let's say constitution, let's say even geography. Okay, social and political perspective, public administration, management, science, the basic science, not the technology part, the basic science, some amount of environment, okay, agriculture, rural development. All these are static subjects. Okay, so I can comfortably put around 80%, okay, comfortably put around 80% of the syllabus as static subjects. okay, which will not change drastically in the next 5 years or 4 years. It will not change. You see the syllabus, you go through it. They are like caste system, theories on caste system, Jajmani system, public management policies, rural development programs, historical aspects of economy. Even in economy, if you see, it is all about historical planning, those things. So around 80% of your topics are static. Ethics also very static. Okay, so if you are prepared for that, you prepare it and keep it. Okay, and whenever the exam comes, you can prepare. See, for prelims, I'm sure you all would have prepared UPSC, KPSC, whatever. I'm sure all of you will be, preparing current affairs, etc. Okay, so that will add another 20%. So if you prepare the mains and finish it off, okay, in the next 6-7 months, whenever the notification, I mean, I'm sure many of you are still have that doubt. Even if I'm able to convince that 1% and if you are able to do that justice, that is serves my purpose. That's what I'm trying to do here. So even if you use the 6-7 months and you have the comfort of time, you have the luxury of time, 6 to 7 months it takes for you to prepare. So prepare all the content, prepare what is required, and then you can do your other job. See, instead of simply waiting and cribbing and not doing anything, do it and finish it off. That is what I'm saying. See, when I also used to prepare, that is what we had done. We were waiting, putting our effort, being consistent, being determined. Nothing else mattered. All that mattered was to get into the or clear the examination. The same thing, it takes around 6 to 7 months. You have to give this some or the other time, whether it is this year, next year, the year after that, or the next notification. Whenever you have to give this. Okay, so if you finish this right now, I'm not saying join a class, I'm saying you can do it on your own also. Okay, if you are focused on getting into the service, okay, an effort is required. When is up to you. The later it becomes difficult. Sooner is easier. Okay, the earlier you do it and finish it off, you will be able to clear it. Okay, so that is what you need to do. You have to have a strategy so that you have completed your means. Once the notification comes, you will have around 4 months. Yes, you might have experienced it in the past. Once the notification comes, you will have around 4 months for your prelims. And that time, can you give your mains? Can you start preparing for your mains? It is not possible. Okay, so you have to give your prelims preparation that time. You will be giving test series. Okay, you will be attending few classes. You will be reading current affairs. Suddenly, all 12 months ka current affairs you will have to, squeeze in the next 4 months. So once it comes out, okay, it is very difficult for you to start preparing for your mains. After that, once the prelims is over, usually exam will be held in about within 6 months. Okay, it will be held. Last time and all, it was held even before that. Okay, so within 6 months, your mains examination will be held. Then the issue of correction, waiting results, that's another thing. So that will go on. It's like an FD that you keep in your bank, fixed deposit you keep in a bank. It will mature sometime. I remember 2017 when I cleared, I think I gave the exam in 2012 or something like that. And then it happened, and then it something. So it took almost 3 years. I didn't even realize. It was like, suddenly you get a thing for interview, you go give interview, okay. Then suddenly after another 2 years, results come, you clear. Okay, so it was something like that. KPSC is like that. Okay, so you can, if you are a UPSC aspirant, you can start preparing for UPSC. If you are working or you are giving some other exam, you can give that. Okay, if you are working as aspirant, so you can continue with your job. Okay, you will have enough time to aram se prepare your means. That's what is the strategy. Then once that is done, it's like an FD, it will mature when it happens. Okay? So then the 6 months, you can focus on test series. Because usually what happens is, you don't have enough time, so you will neglect test series or writing answers. And trust me when I say this, okay, answer writing is the key for your mains. Because in mains, if you see, you have around 20-21 questions. Out of this 20-21 questions, hardly you will know 10 questions completely. The rest 10 question is all about bullseye, okay, or just trying to cook up something. Okay, ultimately that is what it is. You have to make sure that you know a lot of things. The examiner will see those questions and will feel that, oh, this person knows, this person has studied. That is what we will try to teach you in those tests and answer writing mentorship may, to appear knowledgeable, even if you are not. Okay, that is the key. The shortcut is that. It's like, making sure, I'll give you an example. I usually give this example. Okay, so usually when we think, these competitive examination is all about telling what it is, being exactly portraying what it is. Sometimes you also have to portray what is required by the other person. You have to appear what is expected like. Okay, so I have seen many of them in interview, trying to portray that they are working, in some NGOs, or facing very difficult times. They don't have money. They're suffering. They're doing some odd jobs, and they end up getting about 10-15 marks extra, because they are trying to give what the examiner wants to hear. Same thing when you write also, you have to write what the examiner wants to, see, not that what you have knowledge about. Okay, it's not about what knowledge you have, what is expected out of them. So all that is a skill that you need to strengthen, and that can happen only after you are thorough with, the syllabus, have some basic knowledge. Okay, some basic knowledge is required. So in the test series and all, you should do that. For that, you need at least 4 to 5 months. Okay, and then during that time, you cannot attend classes and all that. Did you understand? This is because I have faced this problem with my students. There is shortage of time. I want them to attend class, but I can't ask them to attend class because there is no time. Okay, they have to write answers, but they don't have enough content. Okay, so they will be performing very averagely, even good students, hardworking students, because of the uncertainty of KPSC. So we have to convert this uncertainty in KPSC to our advantage. So what are the shortcomings? See, with our experience, I have seen these. The shortcoming is shortage of content. The shortcoming is uncertainty. Okay, when we convert this into our strength, uncertainty, okay, be well prepared. Content, sit with the syllabus, takes assistance, help from people, and then try to create this content. Okay, and then that's all. So there are a lot of shortcomings. We need to strengthen those things. Is that understood? So I hope you are able to understand, whether it is with us or on your own, you should start your mains preparation and finish it off. All the content. Whenever the exam, see, do you think exam will happen in another 1 year to 2 years? Yes, I'm sure that examination will happen in the next 1 year, or a new notification will come by next year, December. Yes, do you agree? Okay, next year, December, at least it will come. So you have 12 months. So out of that, at least 6-7 months, prepare for your mains. Okay, so keep that in mind. See, that is what has to be done. All right. Then, so I hope you understood this now. Right, so when to start now? Okay, with your mains, this is the ideal time to start. When there are news of a new notification, okay, it is the best time to finish off your mains. See, UPSC is very consistent in its time. So usually what happens is those who are preparing for next year have already started their mains preparation now with UPSC. With KPSC, the problem is that's the right strategy, but we do not know when the exam is going to be held. So let's assume next year, December is the new notification, or prelims will be held next December. Okay, to be very, optimistic, we'll say December. It may be held even before that. I'm not denying that. Actually, it might be held, a new notification is expected this year itself. But there is some internal problems going on between the members, so they are trying to delay it. But otherwise, if things are settled, okay, and many of your friends have started campaigns to ensure that they bring in reforms, that's a good thing. So if those things are happening, And if it happens, maybe December. But I'm saying next year, December. Even worst case, if it is held next year, December also, you start your mains now. Okay? And your prelims, whenever the notification comes, you can start your prelims preparation. Okay? Because if you are prepared for your mains, half of your prelims would be done. You have to update with your current affairs, etc., economic survey, and things like that, general knowledge, and all that later on. Okay? So that is when you start. Okay? I'm saying it is worth it. Okay? I am saying it is worth it because ultimately you are going to enter into a government job. And KPSC has got, it undersells itself. I always say this, when you compare UPSC and KPSC is always undersold, meaning the posts, etc., is always undersold that, okay, everything is about UPSC and all that. Trust me when I say this, except for like, let's say, IAS, IPS, IRS, IFS, okay, you have your assistant commissioner and DYSP much better than other posts. I have my friends who had got into IRTS who did not take up because was already in your as an assistant commissioner over here. Okay, so usually because of the exam process, this post has been undersold. But let me tell you, tomorrow if you become an assistant commissioner or a DYSP, and you will be in the field almost 20 years of your career. But an IAS will be there in the field only for 10 years. After that, we'll go into the headquarters. So, and in the field is where things matter. Okay, where you can actually make change in people's life. As a Tahsildar, as a assistant commissioner, as a DYSP, as a district collector, is where you can actually make the changes in people's life. And the kind of network that you have with this is you are going to be in the state, you are going to be in your hometown, and you are going to be able to bring those changes to your own people. Okay, so actually speaking, this is very good. If you consider after the top 4 posts in UPSC, the next comes these. Okay, the assistant commissioner and DYSP are equally good, okay, if not better. If being posted elsewhere outside the state, if you're not very comfortable being in the state and able to be part of so many, I mean, you have so many opportunities as an assistant commissioner, so many you can get deputed to so many other departments. Like for example, a student of mine who cleared as Tahsildar is currently working in e-governance, Karnataka e-governance mission. Just imagine the kind of insight and opportunities that they get, exposure, and young people be able to contribute and all that. I just imagine if you are a class 1 and posted somewhere in a desk job. This is much better, is what is my personal experience. Okay, so it is worth fighting for. It is worth sacrificing a couple of years of your life. Because you are going to achieve your dreams, and also you are able to fulfill so many other people's or make other people's life much better. Okay, and I personally feel that good people should enter the service. So that is why if you work hard, you will be able to enter, and not somebody at the end who will do jugaad and enter into the service. Because if right people enter, the whole system will start changing. At a small step at a time. If good people enter, okay, even, it may not bring about a radical change all of a sudden. Maybe in the next 20 years, the system would become much better. So that is the intention. We have to, that is what, I mean, if I say that, it becomes too much of a thing from my end, but that's what is the agenda here. What I'm trying to do also, what my team is trying to do, the lack of content, all that is being addressed so that people who read, okay, people who are actually putting effort will then clear the exam. Earlier, what used to happen, no material, no content, everybody were equal. Okay, so they will somehow go to the interview, something will happen, and then, wrong people would enter the service. Now what is happening is, we have tried to change it from the past 4 or 5 years by giving Karnataka exclusive contents, KPSC exclusive contents, what we have been giving. So even other institutes also have tried to, match up to our standards. So KPSC itself has increased its standards, is what I'm trying to tell you. If you see the PSI examination, what was held recently, You would have known. I mean, many were criticizing us for giving, bigger materials, higher standard materials. I remember, my team were coming and telling, no, sir, these kind of things students are telling it is too much for PSI. The same, I have 10 students who came and spoke to me after the PSA examination that the exam standards have increased. Why it is increased? Because today the competition is like that. If you are trying to stick to something basic, and it's very easy for me to say, hey, don't read Adalla Baradilla, read these things. You will also be happy, I'll also be happy putting less effort. But examination is not like that. It's a very competitive field. You are competing with your friend only, right? It's a competitive field. Standards are increased. You see KPSC prelim standards. Take, 5 years back prelims paper, and now the standard is much better. This one has improved a lot. Same, I mean, I'm talking about Group C also. Even FDA exams also, the standard were much better than the previous. PSA, if you have, anybody has written PSA, you will know that the standards were much different. Okay, so the competition has been increasing. Okay, the standards are improving, and we are determined. Okay, at Namma KPSC, my team, we are determined to give quality material to make everybody know these topics well in advance. Okay, so that whatever questions is asked, you should be able to meet that challenge. Okay, so as I told you, just to conclude, that this government job is worth it. Okay, don't worry, whatever job you find an alternative also. You see, if you are finding it financially difficult, find an alternative job, something which is able to sustain your life. But don't give up on your dreams. It will happen, guys. It may take 3 years, 5 years. I have, people who have sacrificed so many years. I have my friends, for 6 years they have sacrificed and they have cleared. Okay, and now they are officers, assistant commissioners, or DC, IAS, etc. And all their past is forgotten. Okay, all this past is forgiven. Nobody remembers it. Okay, nobody remembers all those things when you have already cleared. So you might face difficulty. You are not the only one who is suffering. Okay, there are lakhs of aspirants who are suffering with you. Okay, so you have to remain considered. I told, no, the independence movement, that's how I started the class of the independence movement. For 20 years, struggling with one single agenda. Like that, you also have to, it's like a religion that you have to practice it. Okay, so it is worth it, guys. So whatever you are trying to do is still worth it. Okay. Yeah, so that's what, as I told you, how can we help? So as I told you, there is shortage of content, shortage of direction in KPSC, shortage of motivation. So we want to fill that gap by providing that motivation, providing that necessary content. Okay, we want to, prelims we have covered all the content. With mains, we want to finish that content. So content as well as whatever is required, whether it is mentorship, etc., we want to do it. So with that, very briefly about our program, what we intend to do. Okay, so we want to cover these classes in module wise. Okay, let's say we take history. We want to complete the history module. Okay, as per the syllabus, and what could be expected outside the syllabus. If we take economy, what is expected in the syllabus and what could be asked from current affairs, public administration, ethics, whatever it is. So module by module, okay, we will try to cover them. Okay, so around 10 modules, we will try to schedule our program in 12 modules, and we will try to cover them. And material also will be given along with explanation in the class, etc. So this will help you to revise repeatedly, like how, for example, you might have read about Lakshmikant, no, for polity. All of you would have read Lakshmikant. Why polity becomes so easy after reading Lakshmikant is because of the content that is there and the way it has been organized. The repeated revision makes it much more easier. So you need to have content. There is shortage of content, and most of the aspirants, okay, almost 50% of their time is spent on finding the right material. Okay, they have to go to the Xerox shops and then they will purchase some material. Okay, it will have a nice 3-4 pages. After that, it will not have any content. Okay, so we have faced all those problems. Okay, and half the time is gone on searching, making notes, etc. So we need to reduce that. Okay, and exclusively on KPSC, whatever material we are getting in other economy or ethics, etc. I mean, ethics is fine for both economy or say, for example, history. They're all meant for UPSC or they're meant for your regular history optionals and all that. So we need to refine it and keep it and cater exclusively for KPSC, because there is a KPSC and UPSC may there's little bit change difference. KPSC would require more factual information. Okay, UPSC would require more analysis type of question. So we need to address both also. Okay, so we need to have some amount of analysis, some amount of facts that are there. Okay, and we need to also, we're planning to do individual mentorship, which we found it very useful and very successful in our test program. Okay, when we used to individually mentor, we saw how we can bring a lot of changes in people's, answer writing or people's exam preparation, etc. Okay, and stress on answer writing. Okay, each class we will stress on answer writing, or after every section we will stress on answer writing, because knowledge is, if you consider it to be 50%, the other 50% will be on how you present that knowledge. Okay, so answer writing focus will be given. Okay, and trying to bring the best out of you. Okay, so whatever is your strength. See, for example, some may be good in history. Okay, some may be good in economy, some may be good in science. We need to identify which one. Ultimately, we have to get above average. Where do we get it? See, it is like optimizing our resources. Okay, what time we have, what knowledge we have, what memory we have, optimizing it. Somebody was not good in art and culture. Just forcing them to read art and culture would not benefit. So we need to identify what you are good in, okay, and try to improvise those things. Okay, and then after the class, when the exam starts, when the exam process notification comes, etc., so we'll have the test series and other things, discussion, evaluation, etc. So the entire thing, you will be exam ready. It's like an entire package. You should not worry about anything else. All that you have to focus is on just mere studying. Okay, nothing else. All the other hard work, materials, everything is what we plan to do. We want to do it. We have already started all this lockdown and this past 6 months. We were planning with my team. So we have already compiled majority of the notes. So once we start the class module, I mean, you have seen some of our material, some of you might have read also. Okay, so we are trying to refine it. It is somewhat bulky, as we have seen in the past. So we want to refine it even much more so that it becomes even more easier. You have seen some of our modules already. So by reducing these modules or reducing the content, we wanted to make it much more easier. So we have already started that process. So we decided that today is the right time to start our mains preparation. Okay, so we plan to complete this in the next 6-7 months. Irrespective of that, even otherwise, if you're planning to self-study also, in the next 6-7 months, you should finish off your mains. If you really trust in what I am trying to tell you, okay, my advice is in your best interest. So I really believe that if you start your preparation now and finish your mains in the next 6 to 8 months, I'm sure the next attempt you will clear. You will thank me later. Maybe you have different kinds of advisors everywhere, advising you otherwise, saying that it will not come. But as I told you, worst case may, even if it comes December next year, you still will be prepared. You will be the only one who will be prepared along with these gang who will be prepared compared to others. Don't you think so? Yes. So please don't waste your time. I understand it is a difficult time. Okay, uncertainty. See, in the past 1 year, it was because of COVID. So KPSC had a reason to say that we were not able to do because of the COVID. Okay. Anyways, so now they don't have any reasons. They have to announce the results, conduct the interview, release the new notification. So hopefully it will happen. Okay, so you just have to remain. So the next 6 months, okay, plan your preparation. If you take the entire syllabus, right, start with something which you already know. Okay, don't think that I'll start with first only history. I will start with Indus Valley civilization. It doesn't have to be like that. Take any topic. okay, from the entire syllabus which you are good at. Now, let's say I'm good in Lakshmikant, I'm good in polity, I'm good in constitution. Take that section, take constitution, take the syllabus, see the previous year paper, and start to make notes. Okay, this is the best strategy that you can do. See, we are doing that for our students. Even if otherwise, I'm saying maybe many of you would not be joining. Okay, many of you would think that I will do self-study. No problem. For them, just because maybe we may not be able to meet later on. For them, I'm just trying to tell you what you can do. So take this, let's say, I'm just taking the example of polity or the constitution, right? So paper 2, general studies, paper 2. Okay, so take this syllabus. You take your sheet of paper, take a file, prepare a file on polity or constitution, and start making notes. Making notes in the sense you don't have to write the entire, description. Okay, making notes in key points as to what is to be remembered from the exam point of view. Now, let me take, for example, okay, the questions that I will take an example of, let's say, the fundamental rights. Okay, so let's take a topic on fundamental rights. Okay, so you need to know some data on fundamental rights. So all the fundamental, starting from Article 12, 13, 14, like that, you should know. That obviously is there in your textbook. Now, in your mains, what can they ask? They can ask questions like fundamental right versus directive principle of state policy. Do you have enough points for that? See, it's a very easy topic so that we can relate. Okay. Otherwise, all this you can obviously skip because you would have already done in your prelim. I'm giving you this so as to help you get an example. Okay. So they can ask a question as to what is the difference between fundamental right and DPSP, or more tougher. That's a very simple question. To a more tougher question they can ask is, with respect to how, the relationship of DPSP is shaped with the fundamental right, with examples. Okay, so you know the story as to how the relationship between fundamental right and DPSP has been evolved. That will not be asked in prelims, but it will be important from mains point of view. So whenever you are studying a topic, you need to take the content and see how questions will be asked in your mains. I'll give you another example. Now, the role of governor, to give you a better clarity, the role of governor. Today, role of governor has been politicized in India. Okay, explain. Is that understood? So, role of governor has been politicized. Okay, comment. So, when they ask such questions, you need to have some basic information. So those are the things that you have to make notes on. Okay, so what are the problems? Why it is so? So why is it being politicized? The constitutional problems, okay, the political problems currently that we see in our political system, center-state relationship, all those things, all those ideas has to be brought out in your answers. So for that, you need some basic content. So when we take polity, coming back to it, when we take polity, so you have already prepared for your prelims, all right? Okay, so from your mains, you need to focus on issues. Okay, you need to focus on issues. Okay, and start making your notes on local government, on center-state relationship, on governor, okay, on president's role, president's relationship with this one, federalism, okay, those ideas, okay, we'll mention it in prelims, but they need to be dealt in much more detail in your mains, okay. So that's how it is different. Okay, so start from today itself. Take a topic which you are already good at, okay, and start preparing for your mains, one after the other. Okay, now ethics, for example. You already have many books on ethics which are prepared for your UPSC. They are good enough for your KPSC. You don't have to change it at all. So start with ethics. Okay, take 1 month or take 20 days and finish off your ethics preparation. So one paper is done. Okay, take a nice, correct, a good book, start reading, underline, okay, and then ethics is over. Write 2-3 papers, okay, and then see how you are able to remember those things. Like that, what is available, what is good, what you are interested in, what you are good, what you are interested in. Start with that. And then gradually you can do. But the problem why I'm saying you need some help is because after that, you will start facing problem of shortage of information. Then you will start searching. Okay, so that's what, it's always better to outsource is what I was trying to tell. When I started preparing for civil services, they changed the syllabus, both in UPSC also and KPSC. There is shortage of materials. Nobody knew what was to be taught or ethics and all. I remember when we gave, okay, we did not know what can be asked because nowhere they had, there was no competitive examination till then in India which had ethics in that. So nobody knew what questions can be expected. Okay, but today things have changed. You should not be in that position again in the examination thinking that what can be asked. Today, many institutions, including us, we all have prepared material contents which we know will be helpful for the examination. So make use of it, okay, and prepare for your examination. Okay? So this is what you should do in the next 6 to 8 months. Okay, all of you, don't worry about what others say. Okay, they will say, hey, you can do it later, hey, you can do it. See, it is you who are going to suffer. Okay, I'm not telling you just enjoy. I'm not telling you to do something bad. I am telling you work hard. Worst case, what will happen? Your hard work might not give you results immediately. Maybe in the future it will. Okay, immediately it might not give you results. So therefore, start your preparation for your mains now. Okay, prelims, I'm sure all of you would have covered it or are covering it, etc. And once the notification comes, 3-4 months is enough. If you have prepared for your mains, prelims will. So that is what I wanted to tell. So my request to you all is, if you are really preparing for this examination, okay, if your dream is to become a class 1 civil servant, okay, group A civil servant, whether at UPSC or KPSC, finish your mains preparation now, okay, in the next 6 to 8 months. Whenever the notification comes, you will be ready. Okay. Is there any doubt, guys?